Kimari problem.
Hello, and welcome back to the Masters Mod. Today, we start with the Ronso brothers, or the Ronso grudge match.
Biran rend you asunder! Hornless! Hornless!
So these two have never really been too hard, because they always scaled off of Kimari. But, no, well, they're not really that hard either. And it's kind of cool, because they copy you, instead of you trying to lance it all of the overdrives that you missed before. Now, I know that they copy you because not only did it say so, like, in the top info screen, but when I scanned them for the little intro there, you see that they scanned Kimari back. So that is one thing I remember, that you can scan your own party members. If you've never done so, then that's kind of fun. And if you want to read what is written about Kimari, there you go. This fight is going to go differently, depending on how you build your Kimari, but for mine, I basically got all of these stats except for Flare, and then I went straight to Titus's path, and I gave him Cure for when you almost caught. So that's what I have, so he can haste himself up now, and the Ronso are pretty slow anyways, so that, plus keeping them blind, is great, because they'll try to copy your dark attack, and I mean they're when they're blind, they won't hit you back, so that's pretty great. They do have different elemental affinities, so I'll be switching weapons a little bit to do more damage to one, and then switching to do more damage to the other. But other than that, really the only thing about this fight is you have to take them both out at the same time. But again, they're slow, and I have haste, so it's no problem at all. Getting elemental gems for the fight is a great reward, but then when it comes to the equipment drops, it actually would have been a lot nicer if what happened was switched, so I had the double element armor for Kimari, and then the magic defense for Riku, but hey, that's what you get. But before we run down the main gauntlet up the mountain, I'm gonna buy a whole lot of Holy Waters and Phoenix Downs, because yeah, the bosses to come, they're gonna eat through those. Now, this encounter here is what I think is the most dangerous. The Drakes still start off with the Sentinel, so that way if you try to take out the Wolf right away, then he'll pop in and counter too, so. And the Drake does insane damage. Not only that, but he doesn't wait to attack anymore, he won't just constantly guard anymore. So when his turn comes up, he's gonna hit the whole party with either a fire or ice breath, and that also does an insane amount of damage. So yeah, you really need to disable him by either threaten or sleep, because yeah, if you don't do that, then the Wolf is gonna mess you up. The Machina does a good amount of damage too, but yeah, mainly that Drake. Oh man, he counterattacks so hard, and his normal attacks are just really bad too.
Not much has changed in 10 years.
Now, this encounter here is like completely terrible if you're not prepared for it. 2 bombs and an imp. Luckily, Lulu learned the death spell, and the bombs are not immune to that. Neither is the imp. So, because we have our wonderful strategy of first strike Titus and Orin, we can swap Lulu in, and then copycat with Riku to get 2 deaths right on the first couple turns. Not only that, but the imp is still very, very tanky, so it really won't get one-shot by really anything. And the thing counters with Drake, so it'll keep itself alive for a lot longer than you think, unless if you really shut it down. So if you either hit it with a death spell, or you can put it to sleep and then finish it off, that's great. But yeah, also the bombs will do a lot of damage if you leave them on the field, just like always, but at least we have one way to instantly get them out of there. Just make sure that you are willing to spend your big MP and your overdrives to take them out quickly. The plants can also cause a lot of problems with their confusion. Now, luckily, you should have a guaranteed Riku armor to stop that confusion, and then Lulu is very likely to evade things, and Waka has his evading counter weapon. So if you have those three, either get targeted, then usually it'll miss. They're easy to shut down, they're not immune to sleep or anything. Just be careful about the confusion.
Let's get him, guys!
Now, when they're paired up with this ogre, then they do have a bodyguard. Now, these guys, you do have to put them to sleep or threaten them in order to make it so that you can deal with the plants first, because they actually are immune to death. So, yeah, that's not going to fly with these guys. But once the plants are handled, then you can just make sure that he stays blinded by either Walker or Kamari, and then just wail on him. Just make sure that he doesn't get that counter off on you, because that'll knock you out for most of it. But if you go the sleep approach instead of the blind or threaten approach, then you can actually kind of nuke him with Lulu's elemental spells or Riku's items, because those don't wake things up. So that's great.
Riku, think later!
Okay.
And our final set of encounters are these Machina here. Now, they are physically tanky and they throw out a whole lot of ailments at you, but they're not too big of a deal. Just make sure that, well, if you have Lulu out in the field, then she'll probably dodge a lot of things, and then she can also just strike down with lightning. Usually, I use a lot of my Lulu MP on the bombs, so she doesn't have as much. So maybe Riku might be a better choice if you have a lot more lighting items that you haven't used. But in general, you can always have one good hit with your physical guys to take maybe one or two of them down, and then you can finish them off with something else. And don't forget all the chests along the way, because there are some really good ones. And then also wands.
There's dealing to be done. Welcome to Owaka's.
So he has a very interesting weapon shop. Now you'll see what I buy on the screen, but one thing I want to mention is just how mean it is to have SOS haste and SOS regen on that Riku bit, because like I got it on my first playthrough, and it is just so sad because she's so quick, but it lasts for such a small amount of time because of the regen taking you out of SOS. So I don't know. Now, one thing that is important is making sure that Auron has something with zombie proof, and I'm going to use one of these brand new shiny skill spheres to give Waka power break. Now that is for the next boss coming right up.
Your hope ends here! And your meaningless existence with it!
Now I'm just gonna say, this guy is hard. This is why on my first playthrough I wasted my Auto Phoenix. So just take him seriously. Now, just like the other Seymours, yeah, this fight has an opening phase and a desperation phase. Now, what I do is I keep it so that Auron is always in guard. This is so that the Lance of Atrophy doesn't zombify and slow literally everybody in the party. That way, if Auron takes a slow, then he can actually counterattack and maybe apply slow to Seymour, because I have that weapon on him. So, yeah, no, this is the way to go. Then on top of that, if he uses his CTB attack, then you'll just never get a turn with whoever ends up being zombified. So, it's just not good for me at least. But that's only half of the problem, because Seymour will also throw out his multi-elemental spells, and occasionally a break or stone or whatever you want to call it. Then there's also the occasional Blast Zone, which just does non-elemental magic damage to everybody. So, you know, that's not too big of a deal, but it is something to worry about. But anyways, going back to the elemental spells, we have Reflect now with Yuna, and then also we have 10 Star Curtains to use. So, that is my answer for all of his non-Blast Zone, non-physical things. But the main struggle with this fight happens when he hits half health. Now when he does that, he will start spamming Total Annihilation and Cross Cleave. Now, Total Annihilation isn't that bad, especially if you magic break him, but the thing is that now dispels your Shell and Protect. And Cross Cleave does an insane amount of damage. Unless if you're Auron, you really need both a Power Break and a Protect in order to survive the Cross Cleave. And if you are Auron, you still need at least one of those. But the worst part isn't that, oh yeah, you'll just get, you just need to survive the one. No, after that first Total Annihilation and Cross Cleave combo, he'll just keep spamming it until the fight is over, whether it's you or him that ends the fight. So, back in the present, I'm actually going to use the first phase to farm overdrives. Now, everybody but Auron is on Comrade, and Auron is on Stoic. So, I mean, the thing is Auron will get cursed by the Lance of Atrophy, so he doesn't actually build up overdrive for most of the fight. But, yeah, all of the Comrades that we have will, they'll get their overdrive. And then what I'll also do is I'll have it so that Auron is always reflected, but a second party member is reflected too. But the third party member is gonna get sacrificed for the cause, as when they get absolutely obliterated by the multiple elemental attacks, then that'll charge up the overdrive of whoever is the reflected non-Auron person, because Auron usually gets cursed. That doesn't mean that he can't get his overdrive in the end though, because we have Holy Waters to throw at him, and then Titus Ken and Trust to make sure that when he does get finally a chance, then he can get off his full break off on Seymour when the time comes. Now, another thing that you'll see during Phase 1 is I won't really be stalling, but I'll be in a good spot when it comes down to basically Auron surviving everything, and then really just making sure that the overdrives are building up. So I'll throw a lot of cheers and focuses and even some prayers out too, essentially making sure that just in general the party gets a little bit more resistant, a little bit more strong, and then making sure that everyone is hasted up too. The funny thing about Reflect is that since it protects my guys, it'll also really put a lot of damage on Seymour, because it doesn't seem that any of the reflects will ever hit the mortar body. So yeah, that does make it so that the counter isn't infinite, unless if I purposefully heal him, but no, I'm not doing that. Every now and then he'll throw an ice spell out anyway, so. Now once he gets really close to that half HP mark, that's when you'll see me actually start to haste Auron and get him in a good spot, so that way when he does finally go into the Total Annihilation mode and syncing up, I'll be able to full break him right away. Now of course you dispel the Mighty Guard first, because the breaks also get dispelled off, so don't forget about that. And if we are all hasted and he is slowed, that just makes it all the better. Now you really need to use these turns wisely, because again, the Total Annihilation isn't that bad, but the Cross Cleave is terrible. Now, the way that you can get some turns in between is with Titus's Delay Attack. Turns out that I have Delay Attack on Kimahri too, but I used too many hastes, so he doesn't have the MP for that. But luckily Riku can jump in to do the Copycat Delay Attack and make sure that we have enough turns in between. Now, my plan was to unload all the damage we possibly could, and then have Kimahri reapply Mighty Guard, so that way we could survive the second Total Annihilation. But it turns out that I had enough damage to actually just completely ignore that Cross Cleave. Now, you'll have to take my word for it, that thing is a monster. Like, I would take as few cross cleaves as possible in this fight. But again, I did a whole lot of prep for it. I got all the overdrives, I got some cheers, I got some focuses. So really, if you find out a way to get through that cross cleave without all of the without using the auto phoenix, and you find a better way, then let me know, because man, this is a tough fight if you can't blitz him down. Then finally, in my bit of a disclaimer, yes, I am very sure that the modder intentionally made it so that the Aeons do not have the break damage limit yet, but in this turn, or in the final turn, you'll see that Seymour has 14,000 life. So, with the 9999s of 10,000, plus the 6,000 for the Mortar Body, it's enough damage to take him down. Then, not only that, but we did have an extra Lulu turn too. So, yeah, sometimes when the plan is to turtle up, you just realize, oh, wait a second, we can dive. Let's just do that damage and pray for the best. I am a little bit upset that I used the power break on Waka, but didn't actually need it here. But I mean, if I couldn't get a good turn order with Auron to get the full break off, then I would definitely need to bring Waka in. So, hey, I still got 2 skill spheres in the bank, so yeah, I'll make it work. But in terms of level ups, Waka will no longer have MP problems, because he got Osmos a little bit ago, and then now Kamari has Entrust, so we can do more overdrive shenanigans in the future. But that's for the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you like the video, I like your face. Bye-bye.
And stay up there!